during the week.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to try and help out with that, that works. Actually, speaking of that, I created a clip. I don't know if you saw it. I deleted it. I archived it just because it was
I
the one
did see
about
something was sent, and it was like, yeah, taken down or something.
yeah, it was the one about Ruby Rose. And I
Okay.
just, I'm not trying to like clout chase too hard to the point where we fucking like lose my Instagram account. So I was like, 100 likes, 200
Not worth
likes,
it.
it's not worth it. I'll just take that shit down. What
Yeah.
I should have done is like bleeped out some stuff. I didn't bleep out the plug.
Mm.
Like I didn't
Yeah.
blur it out. So just in
But
case,
now
I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of old news too, right? Now
Yeah.
it's like water under the bridge. Yeah.
So I deleted it pretty quickly. But speaking of clips, like okay, so I'm wondering, and I guess we could air it out on air. It's not anything personal between you and I, but I'm just wondering. I think sometimes, because you even just said it's a little bit late, I feel like part of the struggle is we're having the show on Wednesday, and like it's half the time since like, Cejudo happened now 4 days ago. And then also we only got like 3 days now to get out clips for this event coming up. So in the back of my mind for a few weeks now, I've been kind of thinking like, should we move it to like a Monday or a Tuesday show? What do you think about that? You got time, or if you don't, you don't,
Tues-
you know?
Tuesday, I do have time after 6.
Okay. Because, I mean, I think the 4 p.m. time is good, though. You like the
Yeah,
4 p.m.
because
time?
yeah, but I wouldn't get off. I work from home Wednesdays and Fridays,
Yeah.
so it's easier for me to be in the studio. And by the time I get off work around 4:30 at the
Hmm.
office, it usually takes about an hour to get here from the to the studio. So I wouldn't
Okay.
be able to set up to like 5:36
Okay. So probably we'll keep it
on
Wednesday then.
Tuesdays.
Got you.
We could, I mean, if later works out for you, I mean, we could do Tuesday.
Maybe we could experiment with it and see where we get some views. I feel like 4 p.m. is a good time, though, generally speaking. So if it's got to be Wednesday for 4 p.m., that's fine with me. We'll work on getting more clips out. If you say you're going to do some too, that works.
Yeah, I think midweek's fine, actually. I mean, because I mean, people just like content in general.
Yeah, it's fine. The only problem I'm having is I'm not able to push it out super fast, super consistently. I might have a
Yeah,
week where I'm a little bit more free, where I can kind of push it out. But sometimes, like when I get interviews going at the same time, it's hard.
yeah.
So we got to figure that out. I think we'll get it dialed in. But to be honest, I posted one clip yesterday from last pod, and let's see where it's at right now. Oh, the Forrest Griffin Rampage. It's got like right up near 500 views in like a day.
Hmm.
So we're growing it slowly but surely
On YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, and I'm gonna post more. I got them all kind of like segmented out. Again, I just need to take the time to do it. But I had an interview today right before I just hopped on this with you. So
Yeah, I would say
you know
two.
how it
Like
is.
honestly, probably one clip from the show should be fine. Oh, we're live right now.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, but I like to
So
do multiple just because, if we can get like 3 videos with 1,000 views, it's better than just one.
oh yeah, I agree with that. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Yeah, of course. Actually, though, I got some, just to share it with you, a little behind the scenes about some videos I'll post. Um, there were a few good things we talked about, like last week that I took notes on, like, the topic, like, where do contender series guys go after they get cut and shit? I feel like that might
Mhm.
do some good views. I also got like a title like Andre Petrosky doesn't deserve Bo Nickel. Shit like that. I think it'll do some good views.
All right, all
Um
right. Some hot takes.
yeah, and those are like lower name guys, but I feel like we had good takes, so we can put something out there too.
Okay.
Just let's see what my first topic of the day is. Okay.
The Henry Cejudo.
So Henry Cejudo Eyepoke, you're the undercard man before we get into the main event.
Well,
Anything
I
to
was
break
driving
down?
home because I saw yo ass and shit.
That's right. We gotta talk about that. We linked up for the second time in
Linked up.
person.
We
You
did- I saw
cruised
the
down to the
turtle.
hometown.
I saw the homie turtle.
Yeah, you saw my turtle. You saw my home slash
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah, he was like
Saw how I'm living.
he was all shy and shit.
He was, bro. I went back out there, and he's
And
peeping his head out.
Oh, see that right after you
Yeah.
don't like Mexicans, bro.
I, you're too dark skinned for him or some shit. No, but that was chill. It was good seeing you in the hometown. We got some pizza.
Yeah, fucking right when I got the undercard, but dude, there was like all I kept seeing was like 7 out of 7 fucking finishes on the undercard. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, because when we linked, right, the card just started, and you had to
It
drive
just
home about
started.
like an hour or so. So, yeah, I
Pretty
missed
much.
all of that shit too, to be honest. But I did hear all finishes.
All
So we
finishes,
don't
yeah.
got nothing to report on the undercard.
Let's see here. Just
My main things, I want to get into Brendan Allen and I want to get into Henry Cejudo. But if there is anything,
had all
UFC
those
Seattle.
canceled.
By the way, just a side note, Dana White was talking up Seattle big time, like it's a great
He
place to
really
come hang
was.
out.
He
I'm
really
not a fan
was.
of Seattle. I've been there. It wasn't the greatest place to me.
I mean, it's. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, he was milking it a little
He
bit.
was hyping it. I'm like, okay, Dana.
Yeah. Okay. So Nursultan won
Shout out to Nursultan.
in the middleweight division, and then I think it was Austin versus Nikolai. After the fight was over, I think Nikolai went up to Austin and pushed him after the fight was done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ricky Simon had a crazy knockout versus Javid Bashar, and then Javid Bashar. Have you seen the meme with Crazy Cam's face on it?
I have seen that.
And Movado used it.
They used it. They posted it.
Yeah, they petted. I don't even think they realized it was who it was.
So they put like caption like Javid Bashra got knocked out.
No, they did some other caption like for their to promote their betting shit.
I see. I see.
Yeah, it's the what's Costa got a good win. I really am a big Costa fan too.
Solid win over a guy like Feely.
Yeah,
Feely's getting old though.
yeah, that was a good win. He's been on a nice little tear right now. Then, what's his name? Kutlaba,
Kutalaba got that sub.
the Hulk. Yeah, that was good. Bro, they were good, bro. The prelims be banging, bro. And even Dana said sometimes when the prelims are too good, it fucks up the main card.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, we don't get a finish. We got all the finishes in the prelims. Then it was the Alonzo Menefield versus Julius Walker. I don't know how that got fight of the night. That was the first card that wasn't even a finish. Decision.
Okay.
So you went 7 for 7, and then you get a decision, and that's the fight of the night?
Maybe it was a war. The world would never know though, because we didn't watch that shit.
Then the homie, this is right when I had gotten back. I got back right when Costa was fighting. Gene Silva.
Lord. So
whoa, bro. He did one of those like, hey, to the ref. And the ref was like, bro, jump on him. And he fucking jumped on him, finished that motherfucker.
Dude, those elbows to the ribs were nasty.
They were nasty. Thought that was smart too.
Yeah. He's a vicious dude. He's like so he's so dominant. I can't tell if his opponents are terrible or if he's that good. That's how dominant he is. It's like
I think he's
we don't even, it's hard to tell.
Bro.
I know, but like what did that guy didn't test him at all. We need a guy to test him, but can anyone test him? Fucking throw him Bryce Mitchell, bro.
Now here's the yeah, let's do that. Here's the thing. Like they didn't even put him in the rankings. I thought they snubbed him. I was like, bro, he deserves to be in the rankings at this point.
Yeah, although the guy he beat wasn't ranked. So I guess that's probably their thinking there. There was no shuffle there, right? It's not much moved in featherweight.
No.
Yeah.
So I take him over Zalal Yusuf.
Of course. Of course.
And
hey, give him whatever he wants.
Number 12, right? And it's a dominating win, right? Yeah. If you saw Zalal's win and you saw Silva's win, who you gonna ride with?
Dude, give Silva whoever he wants.
Give Silva whoever he wants. I mean, to an extent, like give him a Bryce Mitchell, give him a Zalal, give him a Qatar.
No. Zalal gets like pushed back, you know.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. But if we were gonna do something, definitely give him Bryce Mitchell
for sure,
or give him Zalal.
I guess, but why give him Zalal?
Let Zalal stop running. Give someone where he's gonna actually have to fucking be put to test.
Oh, okay. So you're saying like, all right, Zalal, like this is a punishment for you.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you Gene.
And if you
for
can
that
get
boring
past
fight.
this, if you can get past this killer, okay, get in that top 10.
Okay.
But if
All
you
right.
can't get pushed back down and push him back in, push
So
him
you're
in.
on the same page, like, because remember last week I called for like Bo Nickel versus Jared Cannonier. I'm like, you can't be doing no boring shit. We're throwing you right back in there.
Yeah,
Can't get
true.
away with this.
Right.
You put on a boring performance, we're doubling down. Tougher opponent. Okay.
Tougher opponent. And
Yeah, give him Bryce.
Silva, Moicano, and Carlos Paredes all kind of come from the same type of like they're cut from the same cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Just killers, warriors.
Brazilians from the gutter.
Brazilians, yeah.
Yeah, they come from the favelas. So aside from that, I guess it's time to get into Brendan Allen, Fluffy Hernandez. I texted you. I said I don't really mind Fluffy's grappling too much. You wasn't the most entertaining for you. Dominant win.
Yeah, no, it wins a win, right? In the UFC, especially against a ranked fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so heavy on Brendan Allen prior to his last couple of losses that it was almost like Brendan Allen took he looked good in the first round, right? Like on his feet.
He was fighting back. I think once he lost a couple scrambles, he just kind of packed it in.
And then he had Hernandez in a tough choke too. Like Hernandez had to slip out of it. Like it was a tough choke. He had that head kick too, and then Hernandez wanted to take it onto the ground. So it's crazy because sometimes when you see two guys that are so good and so evenly matched, it looks boring, but it's very technical too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a high caliber fight that it's a game of inches almost. So you're gonna kind of it looks boring, but it's still a very competitive fight. Because if it was against a bum, he probably would walk right through him.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that both of them aren't bums, there's a lot of counters going on.
I think that was a good way to put it. It was competitive. It wasn't the most exciting to watch, but exciting and competitive sometimes, you can have both, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't too exciting, but it was competitive. Kind of like Ian Gary, Shavkat. Mm-hmm. Wasn't super exciting, but it was competitive. Mm-hmm. So that kind of thing happens. I don't hate those fights. So I won't punish Hernandez for that,
Oh, no. It's a win, right? It's a win against a really good opponent.
It's a win, and it wasn't boring. You didn't stall it out. It was just one of those matchups. It just happened that way. Who do we give him? We give him, like we said before, like one of those big names.
Yeah, I see you give him Jared
Cannonier.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think he might deserve it more than like Bo Nickel does.
See, and I think here's the thing too. And someone had also throw out Paulo Costa, but they're saying Hernandez is at a point where he's not going to want to fight down in the rankings.
Yeah, so let's pull up the rankings to make it official then.
Because we got what we have. Let me see how many I can get right.
Okay.
MTK.
Pulling them up right now.
We have DDP.
Okay.
Hamzat. Sean Strickland.
Imavov number 1, Strickland number 2.
Bad. Yeah, Imavov. Sean Strickland, Hamzat, Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
Vittori.
Whitaker.
Vittori.
Kaio
too. Kaio.
Cannonier.
Vittori.
Hernandez.
So, I mean, Vittori's about to fight. So he's out of the picture. Jared Cannonier just fought. He's not fighting Sean Strickland. I don't think he's going to be able to fight Izzy yet. I think Cannonier is a good matchup, and I think it's the right number.
Okay, so give Cannonier Hernandez. I actually don't mind it. I honestly don't.
I think that's a tough fight for Hernandez, too. That's not an easy fight.
Yeah, and it's just one more guy. Like, you beat Cannonier, like, okay, we'll give you Whitaker. Just, you got to earn it, kind of, right?
Yeah.
That's
why it's a tricky fight because it's a big... That's not an easy fight. I mean, we saw what he did again. Cannonier can just take a punch, dude. He really can.
Yeah, so how about, for sake of conversation, then, you give Kaio to Robert Whitaker or something like that?
Oh yeah, that would be a really good matchup too.
Yeah, okay. All right. I like that. Kyle to Whitaker, because Kyle has beat Cannonier, right? So, like we just said, you beat Cannonier, you get that next level guy, you get a former champion. So Hernandez, same road as Kyle. You beat Cannonier, you get yourself a former champion.
Mm.
Okay. All right, fair enough. And then Brendan Allen, he's down a ranking now, so he's ranked number 10. Where does he go from here? Does he fight a
I
Bo
think
Nickel?
you.
Does he fight a Bo Nickel?
Yeah, he definitely fights a Bo Nickel.
I like it. You're at a
Yeah,
turning point. You prove yourself. You
or
beat Bo
Paulo
Nickel.
Costa.
Okay.
One of those two guys.
Let's see where
Even
Paulo's ranked. Paulo. Oh yeah,
even
12th.
even Kopilov. He's not a. Kopilov's good.
Yeah. There's some things that need to happen. There's a few guys, a few names in my opinion that need to get the right matchups. I guess you could say in my opinion that's Brendan Allen, Paulo Costa, Bo Nickel. What do we do with those three guys? Because
Well,
let's keep it real. Nobody really. I mean, all respect, right? But Delidze, not a name. Michel Pereira, not a name. Roman Kopylov, not a name. So I'm thinking Brendan Allen, Paulo Costa, Bo Nickel. Who do we give them? Do they fight each other? One of them's gonna have to fight one of these guys who are no names. Rainier de
yeah.
Ritter.
See, RDR versus Bo Nickel kind of excites me.
And then you can keep Paulo Costa versus Brendan Allen.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. And
and
keep
then
in
you can
mind
put
now,
Jared Cannonier versus Hernandez.
yeah, and keep in mind, while we talk about this, what did we say about a month ago at this point? I'm not sure if you agreed with me, but at least I said Islam versus Topuria. And what are they booking now? Islam versus Topuria. It's on the thumbnail. Go scroll back. It's on the thumbnail. It says Belal ain't next. It's Ilias next with the green check mark. So, when we talk about
you
this,
got the receipts. You
yeah,
got the
we
receipts.
break this shit down, thoughtfully. Because a lot of people were saying, right, Ilya is crazy. Just a month ago, read the comments. Read the comments on that video. A month ago, we were getting a lot of shit talked on us for that take. But when you look at the math, when you look at who's where and what's going on, it only leads you in a couple directions. So that's our breakdown for this middle.
How do you think Ilya's gonna match up in this division of lightweights?
Honestly, I'm interested to see. I think he will do better than we expect. I think if you're thinking he's not going to do well, I think he'll do pretty well. I think he's young. I think he's got the ability to move up in weights right now. And I like to see it, actually. Like, I like to see this where a guy captures a title early in his career and still has time to move up in his prime. Like, Belal's 35. He's not moving up in his prime.
I will say this, and someone presented this to me. Could Ilya ever move up to welterweight?
I don't believe so, no.
Why would you say? Why would you think that?
Uh,
Like, what would be the main reason why, though?
he lacks in size. Even if it's
Okay,
close height,
100%.
yeah, like a guy like Joaquin is just way bigger than him. A guy like Belal,
it would demolish him.
yeah.
I mean, everybody has a chance, right? But just realistically, no. But then when you look at some of these lightweight guys, bro, a lot of them could go into welterweights. The Rebovics of the world, Rebovics is huge. I don't know how he does lightweight. Joe Alvarez is huge. Bro, he's gonna be standing up against these guys and really looking at it. It's like you versus me. Like, you're a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna be really having to eat my fucking Wheaties that night, bro. I'm gonna really
Eat a
have
lot
to
of oatmeal.
I'm gonna have to be doing some steroids and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, really, like, I'm gonna have to be hitting like 3 times a day at the gym and shit. But Ilya was perfect at a featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
He was perfect. I respect him for challenging himself. Did you hear Patty what he said?
Yeah, he says he wants that fight.
Yeah, but
And he said he's too small, I think.
Yeah, but he basically said this may be the worst decision in his career.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I kind of thought about it, bro, and I was like, I agree, just due to the fact of, like, these guys are big. Like,
Mm-hmm.
some of these guys are 6'2". Like,
Mm-hmm.
some of these guys need to be welterweights, but been able to cut weight, they know how to, do it, and cut that weight. Because what happens is that, you're still a big guy, but you know how to, you know,
It's like Alex Pereira when he fought at middleweight. He moved
right,
up to light heavyweight.
you know
Exactly
how to
what you're saying.
maneuver. Yeah, you know how to maneuver. Like Belal could be a middleweight, a middleweight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these welterweights could be middleweight.
Right. Because everybody basically fights below a weight class they're supposed to be fighting at.
To gain an advantage, right?
They fight one weight class below their natural weight.
Right, to gain an advantage of strength and muscle and fucking, just power. So that's I think that and then, someone said to me, well, yeah, but look what he did to Max. I was like, you're right. Max is not a small dude either.
Mm-hmm.
But Max is a little bit skinnier.
Yeah. So, okay, to answer your question a little bit, right? Couple of things.
See what I'm trying to say, though?
I get what you're trying to say, and so let me unpack a little bit here. Number one on the top of my head is that you see it happen more in boxing, but it's not as big of a jump. It's like a 3 to 4 pound weight class jump, right? This is 10 pounds, and then from lightweight to welterweight, that's 15. So I think with that being said, that makes it a little bit harder to make that transition, because it's not like you're just moving up to fight a guy who competes at 4 pounds above you. It's 10 pounds above you, right? So I can totally see where it is a tall task.
Out walking around.
Anything for sure. Let me see if okay, we're reconnected. I'm not going to say anything for sure, but I've always suspected, because you're saying, why is he moving up? I thought he was kind of perfect at 45. I've always been suspect of one thing: drinking wine the night before the weight cut. He loves to do this.
Okay.
And he says that, like, basically it helps him lose weight because he, like, dehydrates himself and, from the liquor, and then he basically makes weight. But in my opinion, like, I feel like that might have something to do with why he's moving up. Like, a lot of alcohol, bro, as a fighter, like, that's not a good mix. And so I'm not calling him an alcoholic, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to say, like,
but he's an alcoholic.
Not even. It's just like a lack of discipline.
Have more self-control is exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like, I feel like maybe he's like, all right, this weight cut's hard, right? But you're drinking wine, bro. Like, how would it go if you weren't drinking wine? It might be a little bit easier. That's what I'm kind of trying to say. Like, if his last weight cut was hard, right, and he drank wine, and he's saying, okay, I'm gonna move up now. In my opinion, I would tell myself, okay, that was hard. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking wine. Test that out, and if it's still too hard, then move up. Just one other side note, though. One other side note. Go ahead. I
was gonna say, I just think he's arrogant and thinks he can beat Islam.
Yeah, but I personally think I don't know if he can make 145 anymore. I guess that's what I'm trying to say too. I think maybe this is his indirect way of saying, I can't really make the weight anymore, or I don't want to make the weight. It's too hard too. Mm-hmm. So it could be both. I'm sure he does believe he could beat Islam, and I'm kind of speculating. I think he doesn't want to make the weight.
I 100% agree with you. And when I heard what he said too, and I heard what Dana said, I was like, I like I said, I respect that you're challenging yourself, because that's really what you're doing as a man. Mm-hmm. You're challenging yourself to the next mountain to conquer. It just I'm a little doubtful that this is gonna be a huge task for him to try to take over.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, right, and you don't really have to give your opinion. Maybe if you noticed it, let me know. But I notice the smallest of things. So with Ilya, this is also why I think he might not be able to make weight, is because I feel like personally, I don't know how you see it. When Ilya is on fight week, and after he's won his fight and he's like, removed from that, he looks like two different people in my opinion. I haven't heard many people saying it, but face-wise, like, his face blows up, like, heavy. And it's not like Paddy Pimblett levels, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like a lot of people haven't said it, but it's something I personally notice.
I have to, keep... I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My personal thing, I'll give you an example. When he was in the crowd and Max Holloway called him out at UFC 300, if you look at Ilya's face there and compare it to, like, when he's on fight week, they're different.
Hmm.
So I feel like maybe he puts on a lot of weight when he's outside the fight, meaning he has to cut down a lot. I think it
Yeah.
probably has issues with the weight, but I guess we'll see.
So I mean, what do you think he's walking around 170?
Maybe 170, 180.
180 is a lot.
180 is a lot because what? 170 is 25 pounds heavier.
Hmm. Like that's more of his natural weight.
And that's kind of normal for a lot of fighters, like 20, 25 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's blown up, I feel like, more than normal fighters.
But he's only like what, 28?
28.
Yeah. See if I was him, I would have done it for a couple more years. But anyway, hey, let's see what he does. I mean,
Let's see.
I just
DC
think
is also very speculative about his move. DC feels like there's something up. Like there's it's
like
not
he's
adding
scared to
up.
fight Diego.
Not even that. I think he's just like kind of like what Patty's saying. Like he's almost calling too much of his own shot. Like we can't say definitively yet. I think we have to see how lightweight plays out, right? And then have him answer some questions, and then
You
we'll
think
be
he
able to
beats?
look back in hindsight and be like, okay, this is where he went wrong.
You think he beats Armin Sakurian?
They're homies. He said he won't fight him, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
Because they're both from Georgia.
They're both Georgian.
Okay.
So who knows? Hard to say.
Yeah.
First thought, yeah.
And what do they rank him? Where does he stay at in the rankings?
He just gets an automatic title shot.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
He's supposed to drop news again today.
Is he going to?
He's supposed to, yeah.
That's the other thing, bro. Every time on our podcast day, Dana drops the most fucking news.
Last week was a heavy one.
The Holloway press conference with Topuria happened right after our fucking podcast. Wednesday's a hot day for news, like Wednesday evening.
Maybe we roll it to Thursday.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
You
and the turtle. Hey, you and the turtle could drop reactions too.
Teach my boy how to edit.
Dude, yeah, you need to put him on like a little shelf right there, just swimming
right
around.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. The problem is you got to have a filter, so like sometimes it's kind of loud and shit. Because it like splashes into the water and whatnot.
Yeah, we don't want the homie to die. That's true.
Yeah, and there's natural sunlight out there for him, so.
Damn, I'm really baby this motherfucker, huh?
Yeah,
Like, my dog don't even get that kind of treatment, bro.
I'll be giving my guy like worms and shit like that, not just the pellets.
I just look at my guy like hella drunk, be like, it's you and me, bro. It's it.
You got a dog at home, just you and your dog?
Yeah, I be giving him life lessons. He just looks at me like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude?
What is it, a small dog or a big dog?
He's a bull terrier, like the.
Oh, I saw you got that fucking Target dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, my
He's a-
homie has that dog. So you're saying your dog's aggressive too, huh? I saw your story the other day.
He can be. He's hyper. He's definitely got a lot of energy.
Bro, my homie had a Target dog growing up, and they had to keep that thing locked in a room whenever we came over. Because he bit one of my friend's asses one day. Would that happen to your bull terrier if I came over? He might bite my ass.
He's gonna want to just play.
He'll be chill with me?
Yeah, but he's gonna want to play though. He's gonna want to like.
No, that's cool. I'll play with him. As long as he doesn't bite my ass.
Nah, he's not like aggressively trying to bite people.
Okay. Sometimes it's a vibe too. If you're scared of a dog, they might like play into it.
A little bit.
I'm a dog guy though. I grew up with dogs.
You'd be fine.
Okay. All right. Let's see the next topic. Oh, of course, Henry Cejudo, right? Unless you want to say something.
Let me just say, can Michael Chandler beat Paddy Pimblett?
Doubtful. I think Michael Chandler is gonna get kind of done dirty by Pimblett.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Hey, you know what? Paddy's grown on me. He really has grown on me. I wasn't the biggest Paddy fan. He talked a lot of shit, right?
Mm.
Like,
with Ariel and whatnot.
He was a heel, right? Like he was like, fuck everybody.
Kind of.
He was arrogant. He was super disrespectful. He was almost kind of like how Ian Gary was, and then he's toned it down. He's really let his fight do the talking for him. And I thought too he wasn't fighting enough. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? But I think that he's growing into himself, and I'm growing as a fan watching him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's super talented. And now that you take away all the antics, my respect level has just grown and grown and grown and grown for him. And I think, yeah, I think he gets Chandler.
Yeah. I like Patty. He's a confident guy. He talks his shit. Like, this is my thing. A lot of guys don't even have the confidence to say something like Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight is going to be the downfall of his career. I like guys who say what they feel. I just do. And not only does Patty do that, but he wins. He's exciting. He gets the game. So, big fan of Patty right now as well, I will say. He's had a good comeback.
And he's dangerous on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah.
All around.
Mm-hmm. He comes to fight, too. He's aggressive. He's not one of these guys like who just tries to squeak on points.
Oh, no.
He comes in there super aggressive.
Put me in.
Yeah. So I love it. Fights fire with fire. And he's going to be right. Him and Chandler, it's just going to be like a fucking train crash.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, ain't no way Chandler's backing up. Ain't no way Patty's backing up.
Yeah. It's a good matchup. It's a really good matchup.
Yeah. Should Eyepokes and or, I guess we don't have to necessarily include it, and groin shots be automatic 1-point deductions in the UFC? I'll start. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
And I think it's super simple. Doesn't need to be debated very heavily. I think really all it comes down to, in my opinion, is this. I've heard this a lot of times. Like Henry said, when somebody is driving to the basket in the NBA and they travel, they didn't intend to travel. They didn't mean to. It's happened accidentally several times, right? Doesn't matter. You lose you lose it. It's a violation. So I think it's really that simple. The eye poke doesn't have to be intentional. If you did it and you gained an unfair advantage in the moment to score points, right? Then you now get penalized for it. And we don't have free throws in this game. It's about fucking points on the scorecards. Because you can still knock this guy the fuck out no matter how many points get taken away, right? So at the very least, you take a fucking point, man.
No, I mean, and it's gonna, and I think if it was more crucial in that area, fighters are gonna be a lot more. What word do I want to use? Careful on not, going like that, because the way their hand is being thrown, to chance that if let's say a fighter had 3 eye pokes, right? And they lost every fight off a decision because they lost a point. I bet you that 4th fight, bro, they're not getting an eye poke. Their habits are going to change. You need more consequences. There's no this is like a very minimal consequence right now when it's done.
Well, because this is the argument, right? Is he didn't mean to do it. He didn't mean to do it.
I get that.
And I think let's shut it down right now, right? On the pod, let's shut it down right now. That is a fake norm. That's a false norm, right? We've said it for years. It's been fucking sliding through the cracks for years, and it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. It's so obvious to me right now, today, speaking, that whole thing about he didn't mean to, who gives a fuck if he meant to or not? It's a fucking foul. You gained an unfair advantage. It's going to affect the fight moving forward. And whether you intended to do it or not, this guy's going to suffer. So that doesn't go away. So it doesn't matter if they did it intentionally or not. I don't know where that norm started from.
And I think too that it's the consequence thing. It's the, if I have no consequences for doing it, I'm not going to be as careful about it anymore.
Because I'll get a warning first.
Right.
Fuck the warning, bro.
Yeah, and in this instance, we just got to have the automatic pointing. And then I thought Ariel said something this week that really stuck a chord to me too, because I think when I'm your perfect argument, bro. Saturday when I saw it, I said, "Man, the fuck up, dog! Stop being a little bitch." But after 24 hours removed, I changed my tone. Hearing Henry talk about it a little bit more, hearing other people just comment, saying stuff like, have you ever even like scratched your eye or poked your eye or anything with your eye? How much has that bothered you? Honestly, yeah, I've had my eye poke just small, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like it bothered me for like half a day, type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I couldn't see, but just it bothered me. Now Matt and uh, the big dog,
Dana
Brendan
Schaub.
Schaub, he dropped something too about it.
What'd he
He's
say?
like, he basically said, bro, when you're in a fight with somebody one on one, and your eye is has been damaged or has been what word did you use? Altered,
Compromised.
compromised, compromised. He goes, and you're fighting a fist fight with another guy across you, dude. Everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that same attitude about how if you haven't done it, then don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of agreed with them. I was like, dude, no, you're kind of right. Like, Henry. See, the thing was with Henry, he had all these antics though. Talking to the ref, sitting down. He did a yoga pose. He's smiling. He now has memes up. And
It's
I
the
think
thumbnail today.
yeah, and I think that's just. And Henry said he's like, after I looked at it, I could see how other people looked at me, and you kind of are like not judging him the same. It's like, bro, both your eyes look fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see the picture afterwards, like, ooh, that does look fucked up. I was super all red, all up in his eye and shit where it was damaged.
Yeah.
So, I had to change my tone on the matter and kind of put myself in check as well to be like, nah, something does need to change. And then full circle what Ariel said, like, why did they do all this shit with the science of the new gloves? You did all this research, all this science. We're gonna break out the new gloves, the new gloves, blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden they're now going to be taken away. What did all that research and science do for you? There was a reason why they got new gloves.
Yeah.
Or Eyepokes. Am I right?
You're right. You're right. But in my opinion, like, if you want my honest answer, this isn't even being a journalist. This is just talking as the boys. Like, a lot of that stuff, like, I think one thing I really wish, right, if you could play, like, what upsets you about the UFC right now, the disingenuousness, the overhyping of things. Like, you're talking about it, the gloves and all this money spent and this and that, and what happened with it? It was all fucking smoke up our fucking ass, bro. If they spent the money, it was wasted money. It was meant to be something it wasn't. Like, I'm tired of the overhyped shit. I'm tired of, like, overhyped cards. I'm tired of, like a lot of stuff. But Dana is on this binge.
The prelims?
Yeah, right. But that's my thing. I feel like you're saying, they did all the science behind it. They did all this. They did all that. I feel like they were just putting out arguments to justify the gloves. Who knows? Like, I don't know. Personally, I'm just saying personally, I don't know if I even believe all
almost
that.
To kind of get like people to get off their back. Like, all right, we fixed it.
Yeah, because like, okay, if you look at it, right, like if you say I'm bringing out new gloves, right, the more stuff behind that, like, okay, we studied the strikes differential and we studied the Eyepokes differential. Like, the more things you could talk about behind it, it adds to the story. I don't know. I think Dana just got like a good PR team or something.
Oh, he has a great PR team.
Yeah, he could sell you like a fucking bottle of orange juice. That's like no name brand, He could sell you a pen. That's the expression.
The same page. Yeah, start taking some points away from these motherfuckers, bro. And if it was an accident, you're gonna think twice next time.
Yeah, take away the points, and just to break it down a little bit further, if he would have taken away a point, that fight probably would have resulted in a draw.
Yeah.
So Henry's got a loss on his record because the referee didn't choose to take away a point, right? And the referee would say, I didn't take away a point because I don't want to involve myself in the fight. Leave me out of it. Don't make me get involved. Well, listen, referee, let me tell you right now, you get the cosign from me, you can go ahead and do it moving forward.
But here's the thing too, bro. You know how many fights I've watched?
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
What he needs to do, right, is take away that point right away. Take that shit away. Because if you don't take it away, you're still in it, right? Because here I am saying Henry got a point taken away because you made the decision. You don't get to make decisions anymore. It's not your call anymore. Eye poke, point deducted.
Automatic.
Because it's involving the ref too much by even giving him a decision in the fight. And they've been taking the victim mentality and being like, I have a decision. Don't make me give the wrong decision. Don't make me take a point. No, dude, we're not being given it this liberal approach anymore. Foul, point, end of.
And, okay, and this is what I'll add on to that and I agree with you. Just
Mm-hmm.
just a rule. It's automatic. It's taken out of the ref's hands.
Yeah, no more in
Just,
his hands.
you know how many fights I've watched, bro? And it's been like three eye pokes and no fucking points were taken.
Oh, several.
That doesn't make sense. You know what they do in the NFL? If there's a pass interference or if it's out of bounds, they go up. They go upstairs to the corporate headquarters of the NFL referee,
Mm-hmm.
and they make a decision and they bring it on down on the field. Because that's how much money is involved.
Mm-hmm.
The owners have too much money at stake, billions, hundreds of millions of dollars, in these games. There needs, if that's the case, have a head referee on the side, a judge on the side
Who makes that executive decision for you?
that can look back at it, look at the tape. If they get 5 minutes to fucking rest, which I don't mind either. It was the way Henry Cejudo did it.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in there and let them review it. Now in the NBA, you see them do it too.
Yeah. So you can overrule a call. Have a guy on standby who can overrule a call. I like it. I like it because
like
then
there's too much money involved. Fucking let's take this out of that. Like you just said, if the ref doesn't want to make that final decision and want to be like, dude, I don't want to affect it. Ooh, put a guy in there. Put a guy in charge of it. Because it happens every fight card. It's gonna happen again. UFC 13. It's gonna happen this weekend. It's not a problem going away. It's a consistent problem.
Yeah, and just looking at it even further, it's like we don't even really know the referee or I guess they're called referees in both sports. The referees' names in the NBA or the NFL or in baseball, right? For that matter. So I feel like UFC is very niche, right? And you're only getting one referee in there anyway, so we're gonna know their names. But yeah, let's get they're just there to be a referee. We don't let's get their personality out of it. They don't need to be anybody. They don't need to be really, because I feel like Jason Herzog's a name, Herb Dean's a name, John McCarthy's a name. Let's get a referee's a fucking referee, bro. They don't need to be some fucking name, personality, star in the game, with a lot of say. Because you're saying have a real guy on standby who's got to say. Because Jason Herzog was on FaceTime with Henry Cejudo debating the call. And I feel like that's just kind of a bad look. If there was an executive who said, no, Jason, I'm your boss. That's the point. Henry, go back to your corner. Point deducted. End of fight. Draw. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
And it goes back to what you said too, though. If it's just an it's a rule. Point take. Mm-hmm. Let's move on.
And so you don't even need that third party there. If it's a flat out rule, we might not even need the third party. But yeah, let's stop making these referees so popular.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Henry Cejudo is fucking funny, bro. When he gets interviewed by Bisbee, he has the biggest smile on his face. He goes, "We're eye brothers, bro."
I saw it. Hey, but like I say, right? You Henry's kind of naive.
He's looking at him with both eyes, though. We're eye brothers. Being lost in eye.
I kind of like it though.
It was the way he looked at him with both eyes. I'm like, bro.
I know.
That shit was so funny to me.
Henry grew on me a little bit. You're kind of you weren't a fan of him too much, but I don't know. I like that quirky shit sometimes. How he was quirky. Going up. Yeah, he's like, we're eye brothers. Just the lack of awareness in the situation.
Super lack. that whole fight, the last round was super lack of awareness. Bro.
Yeah.
Super lack. But I think that is part of his personality.
Yeah, I like to see that shine through. So Dana White thinks that Henry kind of, looked for a way out. Dana's not really on our same page. Maybe he was like you. Maybe the night of the fight he wasn't super into it, right? Maybe he's changed his tune, but
I don't think he does because he already has kind of bad blood with Henry. Mm-hmm. But if you look at what Dana said, and I at the moment kind of agree with it, and I can't say maybe I still don't disagree with it. I just have a little bit more sympathy today. Henry in his mind could have been like, all right, so how can I milk this? Maybe I am losing right now. Maybe I can use this. Maybe I can just, ride this wave. Can I get a DQ? Can I get a no contest? What are the rules? Starts thinking. He starts talking out loud, asking the ref, So there is an argument to be made for that.
Yeah.
I
guess there's an argument.
But if we go back to what you said, if he gets the point taken, we got him we have a draw.
And that's why you can always argue things unless there's just this flat out rule you put in place. Because then Dana can't even make that argument you just brought up because the point's taken.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it.
And I think it's the way too, like you ever see some fighter. Okay, here's a good example. I think it was Turtle, talking about turtles. Remember his whole high Orbalov? What's his name?
Orbital.
The fighter. Was it Turtle?
Oral by Tibet.
His whole eye was swollen shut, bro. He still went in that motherfucker and fought. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have these instances, right, where you see these warriors and these fighters just fight through it because they're dogs. And I think that we, as fight fans, commentators, journalists, I'm gonna say fight fan, you say, well, no, look what he did. That dude's a fucking warrior, bro. He went out there and he left it all on the line with one eye. How can you not respect him for doing that? And then you see this and you see all the antics. You're like, bro, you probably could have gone out there. But, and I think it's one of those things where someone can be judged on it because you've seen other people have worse.
Yes. So let me say this, right? Let me say two things. To what you said, I think the difference, so to speak, is Henry got poked, right? So that was Song's doing. So if he was to fight compromise moving forward, that was from an illegal move, versus Oral I think was just getting punched heavy in that eye. So just with that said, I believe, obviously, right, if Henry would have got his orbital broken by a punch, he would have kept fighting like that warrior. That's just that part. Another side note, though, is Chael Sonnen, right? He's kind of saying what you're saying is an idea out there. It's not your thought, but it's just a narrative, which is, how do I put this? Henry knew he was losing.
I kind of thought it, though. I'll be honest, I did. I kind of thought that, too.
So okay, so yeah, Chael says Henry thought he was losing, and decided to
be a way out.
Decided to pack it in. He knew the fight wasn't going his way, so he used that as an escape route. Like we're saying, it's a narrative, but to go out and say that definitively, that's what you think he did, that's tough for me. It's a narrative, but Chael stood on that.
I'm not gonna say it's just the way it looked. If I was an investigator, I was a detective. Like, oh no, kind of look a little suspicious. But he did get his eye poked though. That's why it's so hard to He did get his eye poked. This is a fact.
Yeah.
If we were in a court of law and the judge was like, "Are you 100% certain he got his eye poked?" 100%.
And it wasn't just one, right? It was two.
Yeah. Are you 100% certain that it was afterwards that there was damage? I'm pretty 100% sure that there was damage afterwards too.
So what are we arguing?
Hey, we got a case here. We got a case right now. Hey, we're gonna bring this motherfucker to court.
Yeah. Take feelings aside. Bring the facts. Yeah, Henry. Okay, so Song Yadong, Henry, they're not gonna rematch.
Maybe later down the road, though, like in the prelims.
Yeah. What's next for Henry?
It would never be a main fight again.
That's rough for Henry. I don't even have an answer as far as where he goes from here. I'll let the UFC figure that one out. I'm not even going to dabble in that mess.
I have a feeling he's going to be the next Dominic Cruz in that division.
Yeah, maybe.
Commentator, podcaster, still going to be in the rankings. 2 years later, we're going to have a podcast like, is he still?
Remember, Dominic got knocked out by Cheeto like a year and a half ago, so you're thinking Henry's going to get a tough loss coming up here.
I think he's just going to, not fight for a while.
And keep trying to come back, but it's not going to work from here on out.
Yeah, he's going to just be podcasting, doing commentating, and it's going to be 2 years down the road, but he's going to still be ranked number 12.
Okay.
Where's Dominic ranked right now?
I think they finally took his ass out of the rankings, but he's been ranked there for a hot minute. Okay.
And he's older, he's not young.
Yeah.
Alexa, how old is Henry Cejudo?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there for sure. Okay. So let's just so I want to tell you something that happened today, and then we'll kind of just, quick thoughts on last Wednesday's news. But two topics before we get out of here. I told you before the pod. I'll just kind of rephrase it for everyone else.
He's 38.
That's what I wanted to say, 38. Belal Muhammad, JDM, UFC 315, Montreal press conference happened today.
Okay, yeah.
Few takeaways for me. I'll just get right into it. Spoil it all. Belal, JDM. JDM brought up a few things. He's been asked, about this switch up, right? A lot of people are saying things like, how excited are you for this opportunity? But if you listen to it, it seems like it's been more of a burden, if anything, because he was primed to fight Leon in just about a week or two, and now he's pushing back his training camp to next month in Montreal, right? So he's coming off 3 surgeries. He also traveled 30 hours from Australia to do this press conference. He's going to fly back home. I mean, he's doing a lot. He's kind of being put in a shit position. Like, based off what I just told you there. Like, does that sound like a training camp you want to be in for your title fight? Like, you know what I'm saying? You were already primed to go. Now you're taking it on, but you got all these other obligations. 30 hours of travel. Round trip, that's 60. You got to still go home.
True.
So his energy at that press conference while he was promoting it, very off. Very mid. In fact, when I looked at their fucking face off, and
he wasn't risen on him?
Bro, he had nothing there. He was like
no riz.
Dry as a bone.
All right.
Their face off pissed me off. And I don't even think that's ever happened before. Their face off actually pissed me off.
Why? What aspect?
And I think JDM pissed me off. Because JDM just walks up there like, should I play it for you?
He doesn't want to be there?
Bro, I clicked out of it. I hit the X button. Yeah, he doesn't want to be there. He's just like, bro, get in that motherfucker's face.
Right.
Tell him he doesn't have hands like Canelo. Tell him you got those motherfucking hands like Canelo.
Right.
And maybe that's not your energy, right? Maybe that's not your energy to talk like that. But I feel like he was standing like 3 feet away from him. Get close. Get a good look. Give us a fucking face off, bro. Mm-hmm. I don't know. JDM, I don't doubt that JDM is like about it. I think he can fight. But dude, grow a fucking personality, brother. Because and this is the problem. When these guys get propped up, look what you're fucking getting. Look what you're getting. This guy hasn't had to work for very much, right, to get a name. Everybody posts everything fucking JDM does, right? He doesn't have to do fucking much. And look at him. He's got no personality because he didn't have to grow shit.
But wasn't your hot take before Sean Brady and JDM are getting these fights kind of just handed to them?
Handed to them. I've been telling you the truth for the longest time.
Yeah, because you had a problem with Sean Brady. It's like, watch Sean Brady. He's just going to get handed a fight. It's like, what does he really have to do? What does he really have to work for? He goes, look at how Joaquin got where he's at. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
And then you said JDM. You almost said the same thing about JDM, basically saying, like, who have they fought? And watch them just match make them. And so now both of these guys, I mean, JDM's been handed a gift.
He's been handed a gift. And this is my thing, right? This is my thing. How do I say this? Because it's like yin and yang. Because so right, we brought Joaquin up into this. So right, Joaquin's the star. Joaquin's the personality. Joaquin's the guy putting people's lights out time and time again. Right? Dominating guys. We're not talking about getting his ass beat all fight and knocking the guy out with the last minute left of the fight. We're talking about domination, knockout in the last minute. That's what Joaquin's doing. Okay. Fuck, I just kind of forgot my point there a little bit.
Well, no, I mean, we're talking about how Sean Brady's basically been given they're giving him alley-hoop.
Okay, so right. So this is what I was going to say. So
alley-hoop.
Right. So right now, right, they did kind of get these opportunities. And I think a lot of people, right, who are big fans of the sport or especially fans of Joaquin have been saying, why didn't Joaquin get it? He deserves this shit. He deserves these opportunities, right? And I think although Brady and JDM are getting propped up, they're getting fucked at the same time. We'll see. We will see. But JDM's getting a fight on a month's notice in London, right? And then meanwhile, Leon's been training for 3 months. So you got a fully prepared Leon versus Brady off the couch. And then you got JDM with his whole shuffle. So sure, right? They got the opportunity, right? And okay, I'm going to hold back. I was just going to say something. But they got the opportunity.
You think they're going to squander it?
How do I put this? as Joaquin would say, their skin color may have got them the opportunity, right? Just kind of joking, right? I'm just kind of adding some flavor to it. But they got the opportunity. They got propped up. But at the same time, I don't think this is what they really want, if that makes sense to you. Like, they got
UFC.
it, but no, JDM
You
and
mean them as
Brady.
fighters?
No, I don't think JDM and Brady, this is what they really want. Like watch, dude. I think it's a tough matchup for them. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they're getting propped up. People think that they're this guy that they're not. And I think they just got thrown into two really tough matchups, two really tough circumstances. Like I said, Brady coming off the couch, JDM getting completely shuffled around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's my other point. Meanwhile, right? Because this is where my point starts with. Joaquin should have maybe got that call, right? But I think, right, now that Joaquin didn't get that call, he's still going to get Usman. He's going to get a full training camp. He's going to get a main event, right? So I think if you ask JDM and you ask Brady, what would they rather get? The opportunities they just got or the opportunity Joaquin is going to get? I bet you they both take Joaquin's opportunity against Usman. Main event, full camp, none of the shuffling. That's what I'm trying to say. These guys' camps right now are fucked.
Well, I mean, and then then you looked at what Joaquin did last year. You know, he willed his way into where he's at, and I think that's what you said. Those other guys were kind of being able to be more picky and choosy on who they fight, right?
Yeah.
They were kind of like, like how Bonica, I'm gonna wait.
Okay, this is what you're trying to say.
Fight him.
I know what you're trying to say. What I've been saying. Okay. I feel like this might be what you're saying here. Sean Brady. I told Joaquin, I said, yo, Sean Brady should have stepped up to fight Ian Gary at UFC Tampa instead of you. Because Sean Brady called out Ian Gary that night that we covered Bellator San Diego. How long ago was that in between? That was September, right? October, November, December. Okay, 3 months removed from your fight. Joaquin literally fought in October. November, December. And remember, October 20-something, right?
Gets the call to fight Kobe.
Right. So he turned around on a shorter time frame than Brady did. Right. Brady didn't fucking step up.
I remember you were heated. I remember you were like, man, this dude, what are you doing?
And that's my point. So in my opinion, the UFC, right? People, I've seen some comments like, it's wild for the journalists to be piling on Brady like that. Like, let the fighter talk about him like that. No, I'm just calling out the facts. And I think the UFC saw the same thing I've been saying, and they said, okay, Brady, you went radio silent in December. We need you now, buddy. Time to step up. And he couldn't say no, especially because Joaquin's already stepped up for the UFC on several occasions. So what's Brady going to say? No, I don't want to step up. Make Joaquin do it. He's already done it.
And I think, though, too, it's one of those things where, like, I like to say, like, who's hungrier?
Mm-hmm.
Joaquin's hungry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My motherfucker's like, man, let me eat that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But these other guys are like, I'm gonna wait.
They're like, I guess I'll take that opportunity. Where Joaquin's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, bro, let's go. I can't wait. The time is now. There's a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys are being a little bit more picky here, so something to be said. There's something to be said for guys that are really, really hungry because, they eat, and especially the ones that dominate. So
just to say it again, because sometimes I feel like, honestly, I say things in like a crazy way so they're hard to understand. But just to simplify it, if I'm just keeping it a buck, right, I feel like I get passionate sometimes and it's hard to understand me. But I think a lot of people would look at Brady's matchup, right, with Leon and think, like, hell yeah, that's a good matchup. But I'm telling you guys, right, as I always tell my truth.
Who did Sean Brady beat Gilbert Burns in a 5-round match? That's how that went down, right?
Yeah, he beat Gilbert Burns. So I personally believe this isn't the matchup Brady wants. And I think, low-key, Brady is being punished by the UFC. I'll go as far as to say that. I think Brady is getting a little bit punished by the UFC. I don't think this is one of those things where they're saying, we like Brady. You're getting this opportunity because we like you. You've worked for it. No, I think they're saying, you owe us one.
Yeah, I can see that.
We saw what you did in December. And you owe one. You owe one here.
And honestly, I think it's a big opportunity for Sean Brady too, though. To be honest with you, like that's a like I'd rather see Joaquin fight Leon than see Joaquin fight Usman, but Usman is another big name as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
So let me also
it's not a chump fight. It's not a chump fight for sure.
No, and let me refrain from making a full judgment, right? Let me say this, Brady. Let me say this. Because if you can get the job done against Leon, and I'm telling you, this is unfavorable for you. This matchup is unfavorable with the circumstances. You get the job done against Leon, okay. I'll keep my mouth shut, okay? You prove to me that you're about it too, like Joaquin's been, training in the dark when you don't got no fights booked, staying ready for opportunities. You go out there, you get the job done against Leon, I'll keep my mouth shut. There you go. You got yourself a deal, brother. You want to tune into this one? There you go. Okay? I'll keep my mouth shut. See what happens.
That was that UFC. That's when's is that? When is UFC London?
UFC London, I believe, is
the fight night.
Yeah. What month is that?
I think it's March. I think it's right before UFC 314.
Let's see it. It is March for sure. 22nd. So after.
After. No, it's right it's right after 313.
Well, because Pereira's gonna. I think Pereira's fighting next week.
Yeah. So 2 weeks after.
2 weeks after. So I think we got one more topic for the day. Oh, we kind of talked about Belal, JDM, Leon Brady just now. But okay. If I'm being honest, I don't got much to say about it, man. But curious about your thoughts. Am I being a dick? Volk Lopes.
Yeah. I'm not super excited. I think at this point, Diego gets it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know why. I just feel with that matchup, right? Let's keep it a buck on my end.
Little lackluster.
It's just like pop a fucking hole in a balloon, bro. Like deflate a fucking tire. Like I don't know. Like it's two big names, two sexy names, and then you try to like think about it and compute it like to get excited, and I just don't go anywhere.
Because Ilya was becoming a big star in that division, and you take away the eye candy, and you kind of put this other little backup in there, and like, oh, she aight. You know, she wasn't Beyonce, or she wasn't who's your favorite? Are you a Swiftie?
No. As far as looks wise,
Are you Cardi B or Swiftie?
yeah, I rock with Cardi B over Swiftie any day of the week.
All right, so they take Cardi B out, and then they put in like another hood rat.
This is to build off my narrative that I kind of speak on a lot, right? And this might even prove it. Again, this show is about to expose so much. As time goes on, I feel like keeping it 100, it's going to expose so much shit. Tell me what you think about this, because I've been talking about, right? The posting, right? And people who post and sensationalize fighters and get behind them, right? I think that's what Diego has. He has a lot of hype behind the social media accounts. He can't do anything without getting like 10 reposts, you know? Like they were all posting about Diego Lopez says no more double champs last week. You remember that? Like the media accounts love Diego Lopes. But in my honest opinion, I don't even think fans love Diego Lopes that much. I think it's the media accounts.
Yeah, I mean, I know he has a big fan base. How many Instagram followers does he have? I'll tell you everything.
But I'm talking about the American fan base, kind of.
Oh,
What, he's got 1 million?
I don't know. I just like the way you said it. 544.
That's honestly not too bad.
That's not sure, 500,000.
But okay,
He wins the championship. He's probably going to be creeping up to 700,000. He defends the title, $1 million.
okay, but this in terms of this, right? Because
He's not a bad fighter.
He's not a bad fighter. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm also trying to say that I feel like people hype him the fuck up, and he's good. I don't know. Personally,
Because you know what? Because it goes in waves, right? these fans, they go in waves of like, oh, this is the next guy. Look, he's on a win streak. They like his swagger, they like his demeanor, they like his attitude, right? And you can build off of that to create these stars. So I think that
His performances make him a star. I think he doesn't have much of a personality.
a little bit of a personality. He's not like I think he's funny in his own way.
Okay, I mean, so you're a fan of Lopes even though you're not excited for the fight.
I'm not like a fan, but I'm a fan.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe it's Volk. Because
Yeah.
I've been more excited for Diego fights in the past when it's a good matchup. You know, Volk kind of fights like this. Volk's just like,
Yeah.
that's all he does all fight.
Well, Volk was so. It's interesting because Volk was so dominating. Izzy was so dominant, and that's what I mean. These fan bases that go like this, right? Like with whatever fighters are. It's what's interesting to me is when I see these fan accounts, I'm like, your whole account is based off this fighter. Like I don't know if you're a troll, if you live. I don't know who the fuck you are, bro. Like
They're like stands.
yeah, there's another one that always trips me out. This the account MMA chick, super like into Dagestanian fighters. Like
Oh, yeah.
everything you post about Dagestan, and I guess you're some white chick from the Midwest. Like what the fuck is going on? How the fuck? And that's a Trumper too,
Bro.
How the fuck you gonna be fucking acting like you a Trump or a MAGA, but you over here fucking rooting for motherfuckers that from another country and shit? Make
Yeah.
it make.
You know
Make it
who
make-
else is super big on Dagestan fighters?
Who?
Champ rounds.
I don't know who that is.
It's you know champ rounds. They're basically like me.
Oh, okay.
The-
They're
you
a
know,
blogger.
yeah, you know spinning back fist?
Yeah.
They're like them.
Gotcha.
Dude, all the fighters repost.
I'm sure I do.
Yeah. I feel like they're owned by, this is my low-key theory. I feel like champ rounds, because they're so Dagestani, like they report everything. Like if Magomed did an interview right now, they'll repost it. I feel
Yeah,
like Ali Abdelaziz owns that shit.
It's so weird, bro. Like if you're from the West Coast, oh, I'm repping you hard.
We're repping, yeah.
I'm hard, bro, because it's in my blood. Like I feel this shit. I want this shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why it always trips me out when I see other accounts that are like super fucking hard on these motherfuckers from another country. Like I respect every country, every fighter, all that shit, but I'm not gonna be like sipping your Kool-Aid and shit.
Mhm.
I think Islam's fucking bad as fuck, but I'm like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
respect.
Respect.
Like when we saw Habib, we weren't all over his nuts. We wanted to get a picture, but
No.
Ooh.
And the homie,
Hey,
the
Greg,
homie
you're
Dylan.
legend. You're a legend.
Yeah, the homie Dylan always got to get his little clout chasing in though.
I don't remember who that was, but I know we spoke about him before, but I don't remember.
I feel like I'm gonna.
You know, it's so funny, bro, because I'm so like I have such a different perspective on all this. I come from like the music world where it's like I've been around some really big stars, and even when I'm around them, I'm not like super on there. Like when I met Too Short, I smoked a blunt with Too Short. I was like, all right, cool, it was good, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I wasn't all like, oh my god, it's Too Short.
Yeah.
When it is Too Short.
I think it's a personality thing.
Yeah.
Maybe as you get older, I don't know what it is.
I just, we're all humans.
We're all humans.
We're all humans.
And it's
Then-
like, I ain't sucking nobody's dick, man. Like, I'm going to let you just be in your space. I'll be in my space. It's all good.
But that's what I mean. Like some of these troll accounts, bro, are building their whole profile off one single fighter. Like I'm sure we could find a Diego Lopez account that's just like all Diego Lopez shit.
Yeah. What a waste of
Or
time.
a Volk Stan account, all on Volk shit.
What a
All
waste
on-
of time.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we doing here? The
Like,
fuck?
go get a chick or something, bro.
I don't know. I mean, I
What
get
the
it.
hell are you doing just posting, like, your favorite
I
fighter
get it, you're a fan,
24/7?
but then what happens when they lose?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's a
If-
waste of time. They're going to
Yeah,
retire
if-
eventually.
You have a shelf life.
Yeah. Like, you think I would just be posting fucking, like, random news about fighters, like just to do it because I'm a fan? Like, I'm trying to start, like, a real fucking business. I feel like that's the difference with a lot of the MMA pages, too, though. They're not real businesses. If you could count the amount of real businesses on your one hand. Like, Champ Rounds isn't a real business. It's just a Twitter account.
Hmm.
You know?
See, that's what I mean. I'm so like disconnected from the world. I've learned about it over the year, but I'm not like I'm not in it. I'm in it, but I'm not in it.
Not in what?
Like that world.
The world of MMA.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, because like you could probably name off 20 pages, and I'd be like, I think I know who they are.
Oh, I
When
see what you're
should,
saying.
when I should know who they are.
Yeah, because
But I don't give a fuck.
like champ rounds, right?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
No, that's fine. I feel like it's better. Everybody does the same thing. I'd rather you not know very much and just go to the beat of your own drum and create a little like pathway that like is enticing to you.
Yeah.
Because everybody else sees what everybody else does and does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, right? People probably think I'm sucking my own dick here. I feel like I'm one of the ones who kind of started posting everything.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the ones who started posting everything.
Hmm.
Like if you don't know champ rounds, but I feel like champ rounds took like what I did, kind of. When I first created the page, I posted like everything. Like 10, 12 posted. Like how do you think I got the following up to like 60K on Instagram? I had to post like the craziest like shit.
You were posting prelims.
I was.
Oh my god.
I was posting everything.
Also back then you were Mr. Prelim.
I was posting like Jim Miller knocking out some fucking bum no name, like anything for the likes back then, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of guys have taken that MO, and I feel like you got to get. I didn't copy anybody's MO from MMA. I took the MO from actually crazy, right? I took the MO from hip hop. I used to follow a lot of hip hop pages, and I'd see how they report on the stars in hip hop. Report on
like
Sexy
Daily
Red. Yeah, report on this, report on that.
Shade Room.
The stories that they would be reporting on.
No Jumper.
And I use that. Yeah, No Jumper is a really good one, actually. Vlad was an Instagram I used to follow.
Vlad, yep.
And I was like, okay.
There's a science to it.
These stories that they post on this end all highlight the same stories on MMA that aren't getting highlighted. Like the same narratives. Like money narratives. Like talking shit narratives. Like who's beefing with who.
Yep.
You know
So
what I
trip
mean?
out. One day I was watching a hood vlogger. He was telling a prison story. I'm enticed. I'm like, damn, this was been through some shit. You know, talking about this and this and this. You know, we do West Coast radio shit here. And then I was watching Chill, and I'm like, these guys are doing the same thing on different ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So same thing that you said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a hood vlogger, and Chill, what he's doing? He's vlogging about UFC fights.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I listening to him? It's because he's a UFC Hall of Famer. Why am I listening to this guy? Because he was a shot caller in prison.
Yeah.
Why am I listening to this guy? Because he's a storyteller and he's charismatic and he has an opinion. Same thing.
Right.
Oh, this is interesting. You know, I'm seeing two different worlds, but doing the same thing.
Exactly. Interesting how you can kind of draw parallels. Another parallel.
Yeah,
okay, here's another example, right, of mixing it up. Because right now we're talking about mixing it up. That clip I posted of Ruby Rose, right?
That you took down?
Yeah, since we're on the podcast, I can, I like to share a lot of my behind the scenes on the pod. So with that,
BTS.
a lot of people commenting, this ain't MMA related. Why post this shit? You want to know why I'm posting it for all you people who really want to know? Because I'm not like everybody else, bro. I do what I want to do. And I feel like growing our names. It's our podcast, right? So Jacob and MTK react to a topic. We are MMA. We have an MMA podcast. We could talk about whatever we want. Pop culture, MMA. I think that's fair to talk about. And if we clip something that we're not talking about MMA, it's still MMA because it's us. And I'm familiarizing the fans with who we are, So obviously people don't see that foresight initially, but you have to stand on your own 10 toes and be who you want to be.
And here's some,
not copy people.
And another layer, like, the next time you get, I don't know which fight you're going to have coming up,
Mm-hmm.
but when you ask their opinions about what's going on in the hip hop world and culture, and you post that bitch, it's the same thing, but at least it's the MMA fighter and you're getting his opinion on something outside of MMA. But now we have it. Now you have an MMA guy talking about it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, bro, you can't even talk shit because he's talking about it.
Right. And you secret, right? I ain't trying to give out too many secrets, but here's a fucking secret. That's a secret right there. Because right now I'm the only one doing it.
Yeah. Because those guys aren't infused in that world.
They're not infused in it.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why is because they're a little bit the fan base is a little bit more nerdy, so they don't fuck with hip hop culture like that. Right. But
they can't speak on it.
No, and to your point, right? I asked Joaquin about that Crip 4 extras, right? Who says he can knock out a UFC fighter.
I like that clip.
Right? TikTok. Yeah. Let's see where it's at right now. Because this is what you're saying. So let me prove your point right now, right? 215K on TikTok.
nice.
22,000 likes, 629 comments, 1,500 bookmarks. One last thing. YouTube.
And it's hot, and it's a hot topic.
It's a hot topic.
Right.
But you got to be tapped in. You know, people aren't tapped in.
Yeah.
YouTube, it did. Where is it?
It's funny because
39,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, I was talking to Hoodie Hood, and Hoodie Hood, like he does all like hood vlogs and shit, you know, and so like you can go through his shit right now. Why is Whack 100 speaking on the 40s business?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all shit like this, bro, all hood shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know my thoughts about the 4 extras.
There we go.
Right? Bro, he's like you, but on the hood shit.
Exactly.
Like you on the MMA side, he's on the hood shit. You know what? I need to one day intertwine you motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, link us up. What's his name?
You would love his interview because he's like, he's about that life. Like he'll talk about it. Like I remember like one of the homies like, bro, you know you were hoodie and shit. That fool fucking man, nobody wanted to fuck with that fool.
Maybe I should get some topics from him. I could watch his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest hood vloggers in San Diego. I think he just hit like 30K on YouTube.
Okay. So free game to everybody, bro. Stop copying. Do your own shit. Find something you like and bring it into MMA. Because this shit's boring as hell right now. Boring as hell. So we're the only ones bringing the fucking flavor to it. Last thing I have for the day, another flavorful topic.
Okay.
How do I put this one? So last time, right? And by the way, they're calling us like, they're saying like we're cucks and shit like that again. For talking about Ruby Rose. They're like, what is this, like the cuck channel or some shit like that? I'm like, bro, Ruby Rose has a fucking plugin. Like, how are we not going to react to this? Anyway, similar topic.
Okay.
Hypotheticals, right?
Okay.
And I don't think my homies are going to watch this, but it's such a hot topic. I got to get your thoughts on it.
All right.
So we're not going to name names, right? But this is a story that just kind of unfolded.
Okay.
So let's say you got a girlfriend.
All right.
Okay, you got a girlfriend.
Okay.
You go to the beach with your homie. Okay.
Okay.
Day one homie. Best friend
All
homie.
He's
He's not gonna cheat on your chick, right? He's your day oneer.
Right.
Throw him in the gay friend category.
Okay.
But he's straight.
Okay. Okay, come on,
You
let's
feel
go.
me? You feel me?
Okay, let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
You guys all three go to the beach.
Okay.
You decide you want to leave the beach early.
Uh-huh.
And you say, it's cool that you kick it with my homie. Because again, he's day one. He's like in the gay friend category. That's why I just put that in there.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that personally. But moving on. They make plans, right? To go and get some drinks.
Hang out?
Yeah, to go and
Okay.
hang out. And they invite the homie that left. Right? So
Invite me back.
So basically this is how it went down. They were all at the beach. And they were talking about like, okay, let's go get some drinks after the beach. They all kind of agreed initially. And then the boyfriend leaves.
I leave.
Yeah, so then when they left, later on, they called him and were like, you want to meet us at the bar to get the drinks?
Mop through.
Right.
Through.
He's like, no, I'm tired now. I don't really want to go.
Okay.
So the girlfriend still goes with the homie to the bar with all the homies.
Okay.
Multiple guy friends, right?
Okay.
And my homie who's telling me this, he's like, that's fine. Like, I got myself into that. Like, I let that happen. Like, that is what it is if I bailed. But then one of the homies at the bar, right, invites her, right, back to his house later on to kick it with all the homies because all the homies are going to go back to his house. So he's like, you can come too.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Sure.
So they split up. They all go home, right? The buddy calls and he's like, yo, I'm gonna pick up your girl or whatever, we're gonna go like to this place. And then like how do I put this, after they eat at the restaurant, right, the homie who took the girlfriend, he calls the boyfriend and he's like, yo, you want to go to so and so's house, he invited us over. And he's like, no, I don't want to go to his house, I'm good, I'm chilling tonight. She's like, okay, I'll talk to you later, bye.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he goes and picks up the girlfriend, takes her to the homie's house.
Right.
So that's where it gets shady.
Okay.
Are you following it or no?
I'm following. I'm trying to see where we're going though.
Okay. So they go to the house and now the boyfriend's kind of pissed about that. The boyfriend's like, why the fuck would he pick you up? Like, I said it was chill that you guys go to the bar, but like now you guys all went home and he's picking you up to go back and kick it with these other guys. Like, why the fuck would you go? Why wouldn't you just not go?
It's suspect.
And then to cap it all off, I guess there was some blow. One of the guys there gave the girlfriend blow,
Okay.
and so she did blow.
Okay.
And so the boyfriend's pissed as fuck.
Okay.
What would you?
Okay. You probably should have just been like, "Hey, let's just both leave, and we'll reconvene later." Like, you should have just shut it off right then and there while they were at the beach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how close the relationship is with homegirl and shit. Like, how long they've been going out. Because I know guys, bro, that like they're not super. They don't even need to be around their girl, man. Go do whatever the fuck you want, bitch. Like, I don't care. Like, they care less if she does cheat.
Because I was just gonna say, dude, you better be okay with that if that happens, and if you're like that.
But if that's the case, then that's not someone you really want to be with anyway. You kind of did me a favor and let me know,
Mm-hmm.
because that's going to be telling within itself, because that could happen to you, to the next guy. That's just who she is. Like I said, I don't know what how deep that relationship is. Typical, most girls would just be like, "Nah, I'm just gonna go kick it with my boyfriend and shit." You know what I mean? We'll all catch up next time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's other guys, bro, that I know that are like, "Yeah, bro, go have fun. I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
And they just have enough confidence in themselves, and that they just could. If she gonna cheat on me, shit, you lost a good one. And if they all like kind of have done drugs together and shit, and they kind of already in that scene, it's not really that big of a deal. If she's never done it before, or she's never done it with you, and you're out here with these other guys doing it with them, that could be a different scenario.
That's brutal too.
Yeah, it is. That's a little like, but if you guys have all like done it before, and then like, and you're like, "Oh, I just didn't want to do anything tonight," and you just trust her, and fucking like, it's like no big, there's a lot of sides to that coin,
Yeah.
But for me personally, I'd have just been like, "Hey, babe, let's just go away. We'll meet up with them next time and shit.
Yeah.
We'll all reschedule." That would have been what I would have done.
So
if she would have me off that and be like, "No, I want to go hang out with them," blah blah blah, I'd be like, "All right, well, I'm gonna think twice next time. We're gonna really be hanging out."
Yeah. So this is what I said, right? Number one, I said, like, my homie's a dumbass, right? The boyfriend's a dumbass. Like, I was like, bro, you should have never left her there with the homie. Like, I would never do that. I don't give a fuck. That's how shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna like remove all the possibilities of that ever happening to me. Like, I'm not leaving you with my fucking homies by themselves, like, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather go with you to the grocery store to some degree. You know what I mean? Because girls get hit on at the grocery store all the time. Like, if my girl's like, "You want to come with me to the grocery store?" and I'm free, I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." You know what I'm saying? Like, the least opportunities for this bitch to get hit on, like, the better for me. So I told him, I'm like, "You shouldn't have done that." And then you let her go to the bar, like, another red flag. But I also said, the homie, because this is our homie, like, he's a day one homie. So I can tell you personally, he made a stupid move by picking her up twice, but he wasn't trying to fuck, because I know my homie. Like, he's just not like that. I know for a fact he wasn't trying to fuck. He's like the only person I know who I could say that about.
It's almost like an innocent.
It was a stupid move.
Yeah, it's like an innocent collateral damage, but like he's naive to like even the scenario of like, "Oh, dude, no, I'm just
Exactly.
we're just hanging out." No
I
big
think
deal.
he was looking at it as a friend thing, and he didn't want to be like, "I'm not gonna pick you up because your boyfriend's not gonna come." I feel like he would have felt like a dick move there. So I told my buddy, I was like, "But your girlfriend, you should be pretty pissed at her, because she should have known better. She shouldn't have gone and got picked up and gone to the party and even done the blow when you're not there."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, blow's a dangerous drug. You should be around your boyfriend kind of doing that. You do blow around a group of guys, you could get raped. Let's be real.
I'm not gonna say it's not out of the
Not out of the question, right? And what else is happening? You drinking too?
Yeah.
Doing blow?
Yeah. There's a party going on.
Yeah. So that was a scenario where I was like, dude, I gotta tell MTK about this.
Yeah, it's a little out of pocket. You know what I mean? It's a little out of pocket. It's unnecessary. Like, if she really wanted to go like party it up, just go party with your boyfriend when he's doing it. Now, if he's just like being super like lame, and he's always being lame like that and shit, and like she just at a point where she just wants to go fucking wild out, I don't know. There's a lot more I think to the story, maybe behind the scenes we just don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you just one other thing about it. I was grilling him, right? Because like you're saying, there's these guys who are nonchalant. Like they're just like, do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
low key, what he kind of told me is he like, and this is why I'm like, dude, you know, blame yourself to some degree. Because he kind of like set her up. Like he told me, he's like, I wanted to see what she was going to do. Because I was like, you didn't text your girl and be like, yo, let's kick it tonight?
How long have they been going out?
They've been going out for like a year.
All right, yeah, that's a little bit of time. That's not like a rookie dating, life. Like a year's a year.
No. But basically what he kind of told me, he knew that the situation he was kind of leading her into probably wasn't the best for like, you know, his happiness. And he still let her do it to see what she would do. And in my opinion, I'm gonna be like, nah, you're not doing that. Straight up.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let you see what you would do. Nah, you're not gonna do that.
it's definitely going to create friction, right? I mean, because then in the back of your mind, it's like, well, why the fuck you just go do all that?
That's why I wouldn't even say, you wouldn't even get that opportunity. I would say, no, you're not gonna do that. Like that ain't happening.
Yeah, I understand, like, to an extent, what if he said what he was saying, like, let me see how far she really takes it to see who I'm really dealing with here.
I get the idea.
Yeah, I
I
get
just
the
think
idea.
it's a bad idea.
Well, now he got to see up close what the results were.
And so wouldn't you rather stopped it? You feel me?
Yeah, but I mean, now that you're at this point, it's almost like you're at a crossroads, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, because then it's like, if you don't talk about it, you're always gonna be thinking it. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, this is what the fuck you're doing and shit. Like, I'm trying to be with you, and then you're doing all these extra activities without me and shit. When you could have just said, hey, I'm going back home. Like, we'll meet up next time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's a tough situation. Honestly.
Tough situation. But you know,
If it was my girl, bro, I'd be super pissed, and it would really make me question where we're going with this relationship.
mm-hmm.
Like, this may not be the one. I don't know if I want to spend another year with her. Now, if she was more apologetic, like, hey, I made a bad decision, I should have, like, maybe that might. I'd like to know what her response was.
Okay,
too.
okay. So she's saying she's like, kind of like, you know, nothing happened. I was there with your friends. Like I was there with your best friend. Like, you know, nothing
No big
happened.
deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna get that, and that's another way to throw it back at you too.
Yeah, cause you let her go so far with that. See, for
Yeah.
me, that's what I'm trying to say. My girl could never even tell me I was with your best friend. It's all good because you can't even be with my fucking best friend without me there. What the fuck you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But for her, he's let it get to that point. He's like giving her that fucking long ass leash.
It's interesting because, like, I have a lot of homegirls, right, that are really good friends. However, I'm trying to think of times that, like, we all just hung out and without their man.
It's only
Like,
ever a hood rat bitch
and
that you
did,
do
like,
that with.
extra curriculums with. No, but I mean, I got some homegirls and shit. Like, they've gone out and done stuff. Like, we've all gone to, like, Coachella or Cross Festival, house music events. You know what I mean? And, like, but most of them would have been like, "Nah, I'm just gonna go back home."
I guess
I don't know.
the fair thing to say is like, usually I think what you'd like to see if you got like a really locked in woman who you're actually serious about, you're not gonna have that stuff happening, right? Like most guys who marry a chick, they don't have that's the stuff that the woman doesn't do.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I can, yeah.
I'm not going to raise, but I'm saying as far as like, okay,
You know,
you're not wife
it's
material
interesting.
after what you just did.
It's interesting because there's like, it's almost like what you just said. The way she explained it, like, in her mind, she could be so naive. Like, I don't see what the big deal is, and there are a lot of people out there, and I know them too. I've been around them where, like, their relationship is just super open. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they just don't care. And they just either have a lot of trust, and they've hung around that group of friends so many times. It's like, I don't care. It's no big deal. We've all done it. We've all hung around each other sometimes. So I don't know. There is two sides of that coin. There really is. It's not so black and white.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last thing about it.
Maybe for me personally, I may feel uncomfortable, but I know there are a lot of people that could care less.
Adam 22.
Yeah, I know he could care less.
So if you are gonna be like Adam 22 and let your girl kick it with dudes without you there, then you gotta also not give a fuck.
Oh,
You can't be the same. You can't be the guy who lets your girl kick it and not care then, but then give a fuck. You know, you got to be all the way.
M22 is pretty. That's extreme. Like, his wife's getting like gangbanged by like 10 dudes.
Yeah.
And he's fucking recording it for content.
That guy lies to himself constantly. You'll hear people like talking about it. He's like, no, she loves me. She loves me.
He just doesn't give a fuck either.
He
He'll do
doesn't
anything.
give a fuck.
He'll do anything. He'll do anything for the clout.
Yeah. I'm surprised he could still fuck her, to be honest.
I'm surprised he hasn't got fucked.
Hey, Lush. You know Lush?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't know Lush? He's on Adam's podcast.
Black dude?
He's a white guy.
I'm sure if I saw him.
Apparently, he just like interviewed like some pedo on Adam's channel, and then he didn't even grill him for being a pedo. So,
Disgusting.
just a side note.
Disgusting.
All right, that's the show for the day, boys. Oh, we got some comments. Just Jay. Oh yeah, Lush one, Lush Uno. Just Jay. Love the channel. Yeah, we're live, homie.
What's up? What's up?
Black dude is Brick Baby. Yeah. Adam 22, Brick Baby, Lush one, and then the MMA holes. Let's go, champs. Let's go MMA holes. I fuck with you guys. One of the people who are doing it their way. So shout out to the MMA holes. Yeah, they do it their way.
All right.
All right. So, all right, boys. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 4 p.m.
Are we going to do Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday next week. We're gonna keep Wednesdays for a little bit.
Yeah, West Coast Wednesday.